Let's take a look at how to interpret a position graph. So whenever we look at a graph, the first question that we always ask is, what kind of graph is it? So this is a position graph. Now when we look at a graph, there's certain features that we're looking for. Then we can determine their value, and then we interpret it to tell us we interpret it in order to decide what is the meaning of these values. Okay, let's go through this process. So the starting position. So at event 1, our person was located not at the origin, but far from the origin. So the value for the position, it'll be a large number, and what this means is they are far from the origin. The next feature that we look for is the shape of the graph. So here it's a straight line, and what that means is that the person is walking with a constant velocity. We give this a very special label, so we say the state of motion is constant velocity. Now another feature of the graph that we can analyze is its slope. So the first question is, what is the size of the slope? So here, this is always a comparison with some other graph. And in the previous example that this was taken from, the student was walking quickly, and in that case, the graph was much steeper, looking more like this. But in this situation, the size of the slope is smaller. So we'll say small. And what's the meaning of that? What's the interpretation? It means the person is moving slowly. Finally, we have the sign of the slope. So this slope here is sloping downwards, and so we would say its slope is negative. What's the interpretation of that? So the person is moving in the negative direction. In the room that we were using for this, the positive direction was south, and so we can be more specific here. We can say that they were moving in the negative direction, which was north. Okay? So this would be the best way to describe it, if you happen to know which directions you are using. So moving north. So when you're looking at a graph, always remember, identify what type of graph it is, and start to go through the features of the graph, decide on the feature and how to interpret it.